So, good afternoon, online students. Hope you all can hear me. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes, we can hear you.
Right, okay, Pute, great. So again, the same message, Pute, this is for online students. If you all need to clarify any single point, just raise your voice and take the clarifications. Okay?
Yes, madam, sure.
Right, okay, Pute. So now we'll start. Okay, so I don't know whether how many students are there for the previous day, Pute? Ada, we can't keep home. Section subject के साथ ये but बीच में चले बेटा एक टाइम पे मेरे छान में दवा खाता है एक टाइम पे छान में एक बार ये बोल एक टाइम तो तुम क्या करेंगे मुझे वो बड़ी किट पास से दिखने देता हूँ मैं रोज में तीन मिनट By the way, we start with otherwise we cannot complete the content that I have planned today, right? Okay, so now give attention to it. First sentence video, quickly sentence video, quickly sentence. Take out your books and give your attention. So last week we have finished chapter 1 today. So I have discussed all the relevant areas and I have even discussed more areas also in chapter 1, right? So if we consider those leadership theories and the leadership types, okay, those things are not included in the course outline. But in order to give kind of a more knowledge, I decided to include those areas, okay? So when it comes to the examination for the in advance, I will tell whether you have to go through those areas or not here later, right? So yes, when you are getting close to the exam, I will mention. Usually I'm telling what are the areas that you all have to focus in terms of the examination, right? Okay. So today's chapter in this, sorry. Within going the cover working in the main mindset and sunset and given main projecting curriculum. The project is not working. Online student, this is for you. I'm not explaining any thing because the project is not working. So once it's sorted out, I will explain the things. Don't worry, I'm not explaining anything.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay. Okay.
Today, what you can do is till we sort this out from your end, just go through the slides with it. It will take few minutes or 30 minutes. So from your end, just go through the slides, then we will discuss in detail the content that I have included in the slides. Okay. So just open the slide and see what are the areas that we are going to discuss today. No, but this is not the slide. Slide that I have uploaded mistakenly. Today, like, we'll start. Okay, we'll start. Give me the attention, I will explain all the things. So here, the chapter 2 is working without supervision. Right? Then you all like me think why this is important today. Hi today. We'll do the lecture. So you all have the soft copies, right? We'll start and we will continue. Right? So because online students can see the slides I have shared it. Yes. Today's chapter is, if you all can go through the title, it says working without supervision. Right? Then you all should understand, don't you have this question, why this is important for leaders? This is coming under skills in leadership and innovation module. Okay, the chapter is working without supervision. And within that, it's mentioned as taking initiative and being proactive. Right? So then from your end, you all need the questions. Why we should learn this kind of a chapter under leadership? Right? That is the very first thing that you all need to sort out. Right? If we consider the leaders today, they are the ones who provide the supervision, and they are the ones who continuing with the supervision. They are supervisors in the organization. Then chapter is taking initiative, not taking initiatives, working without supervision. So here we have to analyze this chapter from two angles with it. One is when we are working as leaders, definitely we do have followers, right? That is clearly put when we are working, when we are performing our roles as leaders, we do have followers, right? Then from our input, we need to make our subordinates or followers to do the works without supervision. One thing, as a leader, right? As well as when you are in the path of becoming a leader, right? When you are in the path of becoming a leader, you all need to improve this working without supervision. Kotas dekai. One part is when you are working as a leader, you all have to you all have to give the direction to your followers. So in that context, you should be able to make your subordinates to work without supervision. One thing. As well as when you also in the path of becoming a successful leader, you also need to learn to work without supervision. Right? Two things. That's why this kind of a chapter is coming under skills in leadership and innovation, right? Within brackets it says put something called taking initiative and being proactive. Again, kind of a confusion. Why within brackets it says taking initiatives and being proactive? Another thing that we need to clarify. Because if you cannot understand the title and the link between the title and the module, then again you always get confused. Right? The thing is, here we are going to discuss how subordinates or as leaders, when we are in the path of becoming a leader, if we want to work without supervision, right? If we want to work without supervision, definitely you should need to take initiatives and be proactive. Right? Again, I'm telling when you are in the process of becoming a leader, right? When you are in the process of becoming a leader, definitely you all need to improve being proactive. I will explain what is this proactive and what is this taking initiatives, right? Let me yeah, I have tried to erase the board also. It's really hard to erase. So in that case, I have to explain, right? In that case, I will explain. I will summarize the things that I have discussed so far. You all can manage to read, right? Come on, make on. Thank you. Right, okay. So now only right, okay. So here, again I will read what we have discussed so far. The title of today's chapter is Working Without Supervision. Right? So if we consider this chapter, we have to analyze from 2 points of view, so from 2 angles. One is when we are working, when we are performing our role as a leader, definitely we need to provide the direction to our followers. Right? So when we are providing the direction, guidance to our followers, definitely we need to make them to work without supervision. One thing. Then only we can allocate our time to focus on strategic things. Right? That is one thing. As well as you all know, we cannot suddenly or spontaneously become leaders. Right? There's a path. Long path. So then when we also in the path of becoming a leader, right? We need to understand, we need to learn work without supervision. 2 things. Right? Okay. So then put the within bracket, it says taking initiatives and be proactive. If we want to work without less supervision or if we want to work without supervision, definitely we should be able to take initiatives and be proactive. That's why within bracket it's mentioning taking initiatives and being proactive. Again, it's a very simple thing. If we want to work without supervision as any individual, right? Just forget leaders, followers, right? So if we consider any kind of a people or a person or any kind of an individual, if we want to work without supervision, definitely you all should improve taking initiatives and being proactive. I know you all may think what is this being proactive because I have not explained yet what is this proactive, being proactive, right? So further moving to like discuss the things in detail with it, that's one thing that we need to understand. If we consider different individuals with it, if we consider one person, we have different mindsets, right? So we know, like for an example, if we consider this optimism, pessimistic, optimistic, but then we can categorize mindset into optimistic mindset and the pessimistic mindset. You all have an idea about this pessimistic and the optimistic mindsets. Because like we cannot enter to the today's topic because it's about being proactive. So being proactive also kind of a mindset that individuals have. So in that case, first we need to clarify what are the existing or what are the available different mindsets. We need to first clarify what are the available mindsets. Then we can understand, all right, okay, proactive mindset is this. So another, like one categorization that we can build in terms of mindset is optimistic mindset and pessimistic mindset. What is optimism? Optimistic. This is not the first time that you are like learning this. Definitely you all have learned this. Optimism, optimistic. Yes, that's a meaning. Yes, very good. Positive thinking. Pessimistic in the sense negative thinking. Optimistic, the simple meaning of optimistic is positive thinking with it. So we believe that, okay, we believe that future occurrences. If it is optimistic, I have mentioned another similar term that we can use for optimistic mindset is positive thinking. Positive thinking. So positive thinking or optimistic mindset in the sense, in that particular point, individuals believe that, right, future occurrences will generate favorable outcomes. On the day, good things will happen. Right? Optimistic mindset. Same time, there's another mindset called pessimistic mindset. It's about negative thinking. Always, if the person is having a pessimistic mindset, that particular person is thinking the future occurrences will generate unfavorable outcomes. Bad things will happen in future. ඉතරම ඍණාත්මකව හිතන්නේ නරක දෙයක් වෙයි. right මේ දේ කරොත් හරියන එකක් නෑ. Negative thinking. Right? So then, in that way, if we move on to the slide here, you can see positive mindset. For this, we can use another term called optimistic mindset. It's better to write down with it. Otherwise, again, you all will get confused. What is this optimistic and pessimistic? Here, even like no need to write down all these things. Just put a small star mark and write down positive mindset. Another term that we can use for this is optimistic mindset. Right? Because for the leaders, optimistic mindset also really important. Today we are not going to touch that part. But for a leader, if you want to become a successful leader, definitely optimistic mindset is really important. Then for the negative mindset, within brackets write down pessimistic. Pessimistic mindset. Right? No need to write down these things. That is for your information. Then you can see different people have strategic mindset. Always they are like thinking different things in strategic manner. Right? Creative mindset. Then there's another two things or two categorization in terms of mindset that we can find is fixed mindset and the growth mindset. We are going to discuss these two also in detail. Then the relevant point for today's chapter is this proactive mindset. Right? There are two things called reactive mindset and the proactive mindset. Right? So then please give attention. Right, okay. If we consider reactive mindset, let's forget mindset. Right? Just forget the term mindset. If we only consider reactive and proactive. What is the meaning of these two terms? Reaction, reactive, proactive. Any idea? Because this is the important point in today's chapter. Reactive, proactive. Any idea? That's okay, that's okay, that's okay. Very good. That is the very correct answer. That's correct with it. Reactive in the sense that we are taking actions once something happened after the occurrence with it. Right? Reactive. Reactive mindset also, like if we have a reactive mindset, that means we are taking the necessary actions once something happened. Yeah, not possibly react කරන්නේ. Proactive mindset is something like this. In advance, we are anticipating future problems, future issues, and in advance, we are taking necessary preventive actions to avoid those problems. Proactive. Right? In proactive, like if you have a proactive mindset, is you can, or like you are in a position to anticipate, foresee, right? Anticipate future occurrences, like when it comes to future occurrences, there can be problems, issues, different barriers, okay? You all can anticipate this. And in advance, before happening that, okay, you all take necessary preventive actions to solve those future problems. Preventive mindset. So you all can understand today, if we want to work without supervision, definitely today we need to, like, as individuals, we need to anticipate the things in advance, not in advance, we need to anticipate the things and we need to take necessary preventive actions in advance. Right? Otherwise, what will happen with it? Like, if we are going to work with supervision, ඒ කියන්නේ අපි supervisor ගේ advices හම්බුනාට පස්සේ තමයි අපි add කරන්නේ. But if we want to work without supervision, definitely we need to improve being proactive because we cannot wait till the advisors of what do you call them, supervisors, right? Before that, if it is an urgent matter, we need to take initiatives by being proactive, right? That is the important thing with it. Because if we are going to wait till the advisors of supervisors, or if we are going to wait till the instructions of supervisors, what will happen is with it, like sometimes the things can be happen, and after all only we are taking the corrective actions or the actions. But if we want to be successful as an individual, right, if you want to work without supervision, always we need to be proactive. We need to be proactive with it. We need to anticipate the future occurrences, and we need to understand the problems in advance, and we need to take preventive actions. Plus, we need to initiate the actions to avoid those issues, right? Okay. So then here, write down the subtopic with it. First, write down the subtopic. Being proactive. Write down being proactive. No, we'll do like this. Don't write down being proactive. We'll develop the link and then we will write down being proactive. Write down. When leaders, write down the sentence. Otherwise, you all cannot link being proactive and taking initiatives with today's chapter. In that case, write down a small note, put a star mark, write down, not write down, put a small bullet point and continue writing. When a person performing as a leader, put a comma, they have to make their subordinates work without supervision. Work without close supervision. Work without close supervision. Meanwhile, the individuals in the process of becoming a leader, put a comma, they also need to improve the characteristic called work without supervision. Work or working without supervision. Then in the next sentence, write down, if an individual wants to work without supervision, comma, they have to take initiatives. They have to take initiatives by being a proactive person. By being a proactive person. So now, once you reach home also, when you are reading the two paragraphs, then you all can understand what is the link between these two areas, right? So now carefully read this item. Carefully read. It's like in detail explaining what is image. Right, okay, now carefully read the slide. It's like in detail explaining what is this being proactive. So it's mentioning proactive means taking initiative and acting in anticipation of future problems, requirements or changes. As I explained, the same thing is mentioning in the slide. Carefully read the slide. You can see a proactive person seeks to control situations by forcing things to happen rather than waiting to respond to them after those situations happen. Then it's like explaining key aspects of being proactive include. So if you want to become a proactive, like person who is having a proactive mindset, right? If you want to become a person who is having a proactive mindset, definitely you all need to improve the anticipation skill. Foreseeing. අනාගතය ගැන බලන්න තියෙන හැකියාව, ඒක analyze කරන්න තියෙන හැකියාව you all have to improve. Right? So then another point that you all need to understand is if you want to become a person who is having a proactive mindset, that is initiatives. Always put there, right? Now try to understand this way with the right. Now you have analyzed that, okay? In future, there can be a price reduction in the raw material, right? Price reduction in the raw material, right? So you are in procurement department, just assume that you are in procurement department, and now with the experience that you have and based on the updates and the facts and figures that you have, you can anticipate that after 2 months' time, there can be a significant price reduction in the main raw material of your manufacturing company. Right? So then, now you have correctly anticipated. The thing is, it's not sufficient. Anticipate therapeutic then you need to take initiatives. Right? So then you have to think, okay, so yes, there's a what you call kind of a trend of declining or reducing the raw material prices, then you need to take relevant initiatives to face this particular situation. Right? Then put it quickly, you all need to, as an individual, just as if still you are not a leader or you are not a senior level manager. So what you can do is, you can take necessary actions to inform this particular incident via email to the relevant parties today. ඔයාගේ මට්ටමින් ඔයාලා initiative එක. ඔයා anticipate කරා. ඔයා එක initiative එකක් විදිහට you are informing to the relevant parties via email. Because then based on your information, sales and marketing department can amend adjust the prices, right? So then only they can achieve the competitive advantages. In advance, if they can market that, okay, so next month there will be this kind of promotion, then through that they can attract customers. Once දෙයක් තමයි ලොකු change එකක් you can do. Small initiative, just sending an email to the relevant departments. Right? Initiatives. So then, responsibility. That is, you can understand today. So you all need to be responsible for the initiatives. Right? Then prevention. If it is now, like I have mentioned, kind of favorable thing, right? Price reduction of raw material is kind of favorable thing to the organization. Right? But there can be negative things also and unfavorable things also. So if there are like some future problems, future issues, assume that you have anticipated a future problem, and for that you need to take preventive action. Prevention. Right? All these things are linked with being proactive. Simply, what it says is, if you want to become a person who is having a proactive mindset, you all need to improve these four. Anticipation skills, then initiative, you all need to take initiatives, plus you all need to take the responsibility of your initiatives, and you all should be able to establish or formulate preventive actions. Right? So in that case, I done a small summary. Write down this sentence. In order to be a person, who is having a proactive mindset, it is required to focus following aspects. Then write down these four: anticipation, initiatives. Don't write down just it as initiatives. Take in initiatives. Then it makes some sense. First one, anticipation. Then second one, taking initiatives. After the anticipation, the second point, taking initiatives. And third one, be responsible for the initiatives. Being responsible. Be responsible for the initiatives. Then the final thing, taking preventive actions. To avoid issues related to future occurrences. Right, okay. Then quickly read this slide also with like it's explaining further skills that we need to improve if we want to become a person who is having a proactive mindset. You can see the same thing is explaining with it. Proactive is a key characteristic of an effective leader. It involves anticipating future challenges, opportunities, and changes, and taking action in advance. The particular point we have discussed. Then this is somewhat important. Following are some ways in which proactivity is exhibited in the leaders of the leadership. If we can categorize, this leader is a person who is having a proactive mindset. Okay. So if we want to label a or a person as a individual who is having a proactive mindset with it, we can use these measures. So these characteristics to label them as like that. If the person is showing visionary thinking is long-term thinking, right? Then if they are showing good problem-solving skills, then if they are like taking initiatives without relying on their supervisors, even though they are leaders today, they also may have senior leaders, right? Planning, hey, these things you can understand, right? Simply what you can like understand from these slides is if you want to categorize a person or label a person as a person who is having a proactive mindset, we can use this characteristic. If they have these characteristics, then we can tell he or she is a person who is having a proactive mindset. That's what it says. Adaptability or the flexibility. And continuous learning also really important with it, because like if we are not engaging with continuous learning, then we cannot anticipate things accurately. We may anticipate things, but the accuracy rate will get less. But if we are like engaging with continuous learning, if we are getting updated with the changes in the relevant markets or financial institutions or even the society, okay? So then we can anticipate, foresee the things accurately. අපි අප්ඩේට් වෙන්න නැත්නම් අපි සමහර වෙලාවට අපේ එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් එකත් එක්ක ඇන්ටිසිපේට් කරයි. හැබැයි ඒක ඇකියුරසි එක 100%ක් වෙන එක නෑ 70ක් 160ක්. That's why this continuous learning also important to become a person who is having a proactive mindset. Right? Yes. No need to write down these things. I will do the activity later on today because first we will discuss the main area that I have planned to discuss today. Then we will move on to the activity. That's why I have split the activity. We will do that later on. I will give 1 minute. If you need to verify or if you need to ask any question in terms of the area that we have discussed so far, ask me to if you feel that it's confusing or it is hard to understand, just ask me. Based on the things that we have discussed so far.
Excuse me, miss.
Right, okay. Now this is, if there is no question, right? Like I'm assuming, then I will move on to the next data that we want to discuss. Here we have discussed now in order to become a person who is having a proactive mindset, we need to take initiatives, right? We need to anticipate things, right? So then in order to take initiatives, again, we initiate initiative, the meaning of initiative is that we are not going to seek advices from our supervisors. From our, we are initiating the things, initiatives. We are the ones who like implementing those things first. Take the meaning of initiatives, right? So then, if we want to initiate things, right? That's the fundamental, they are the kind of a very important characteristic that we need to improve or enhance or that we need to gain to ourselves. Can you tell me, like, the thing is, now we know if we want to work without supervision, we know we need to be proactive. When we are like being proactive, right? With that we need to take initiatives, right? That is also fine. Then if we want to formulate initiate, like if we want to take initiatives in work organization, right? What is the characteristic that we need to improve, so that we need to gain to ourselves today. මොකද characteristic එක අපි අපේ personality එක හැටියට හදාගන්න. What is the characteristic that we need to gain, obtain, if we want to take initiatives without relying on our supervisors? Take 2 minutes or 1 minute and 10 minutes. You want to take initiatives without relying on the supervisors. You are not going to seek advices from supervisor. Now you want to take initiatives for the anticipated future occurrences. If you want to take that, it's a gut feeling, like a gut feeling, like a good initiative, no argument advisors, nothing, right? So if you want to take initiatives, what is the fundamental characteristic that you need to have in your personality? Okay, so it's correct. Yes. Second product, how product economy. You have to invest in one million and a half. Take it as it is. Very good. Think more. Then we have EV number of symbols. What will happen? Let me check what is answer that you are telling. It's self-confidence. We need to like kind of same thing. She also said self-confidence. This one. And the same thing this. Yes, self-confidence. Self-confidence. Any other items? Self-confidence has no So now you all have mentioned different points in today. And I have received 1 point directly also, that is the correct answer. But if I summarize or conclude all the points that you all have mentioned, so if we are self-confident, okay, so if we are focusing something, that if we are keeping focus on something, right? What will happen is we are becoming an independent person today, right? We are becoming an independent person. After self-confidence, then if we are focusing the things, right? What will happen is automatically we are becoming an independent person. The thing is, even though we are like believing ourselves, if we have the self-confidence, there are certain points with it. Our personality also will create impacts on that. It will make a good clear, but so generally when we are discussing, yes, if you have self-confidence, if you are focusing what you do, right? Automatically, you will become an independent person. If you can perform your task as an independent person, that is the important point to take. If you all can perform your task as an independent person, then you all never seek supervision for your task. Right? If you have a confusion, if you need to clarify anything, definitely you need to seek the what you call the advices from the supervisor. That is there. But if you are in a position, that's why you are like confident, if you are in a position to do the task, and if you are an independent person, definitely you will do that task without supervision. If you want to become a person who can work without supervision, definitely you need to become an independent person. And a kind of independent person in the sense that you are not going to depend others excessively. ඕන්ට වඩා අනිත් අයට depend වෙන්න යන්නේ. Right? So that is not a very good characteristic that you all need to improve in yourselves if you want to become a person who can work without supervision. Let me show the explanation for being independent. Now read this. With that laptop, read this right. Here, then again, you all will get confused. What are these aspects? Like the meaning of aspects in the sense, but like if you want to become an independent person, you all need to give attention to these areas. One thing is self-reliance. The reliance in the sense, as Paul correctly mentioned, we need to believe ourselves, right? We can do that, right? Trusting in one's own abilities and judgment. අපි හිතන දේ හරි අපිට ability එක තියෙනවා self-reliance, right? Then decision making. Definitely, like we should able to make correct decisions, and the thing is effective decisions. Then responsibility, we should able to take responsibilities, and another thing we should able, like here this financial independence is not that much relevant when it comes to the corporate executive, right? It's relevant for your personal, right? So because when we are working for an organization for that, it's not a kind of a mandatory characteristic to have this financial independence if we want to develop ourselves as an independent person. We have to work with financial independence, right? So, right on to the name, subtopic independent. I'm not going to give the explanation for independent, you can understand it. But in order to avoid confusions in terms of these key aspects of independence, I will give this sentence. If a person needs to take, if a person needs to take initiatives without supervision, they have to become independent individuals. Independent individuals. Then continue writing. In the process of becoming an independent person, again put a comma, individuals have to gain following characteristics to their selves. Following characteristics to their selves. Write down from this list, but then only to write down all 7. Again, the previous logic also applicable for this thing for them. Write down any 4 points, right? Any 4 points which you feel easy to recall. First read all the 7 points and write down any 4. Anyhow, they write down self-reliance and the emotional independence. Other 2 points, you all can write down anything. Because those 2 things are important. Self-reliance and emotional independence. For other 2 points, you all can use any 2 characteristics. Quickly finish Today around 4:50, I will give a very short break, 5 minutes break. Okay. So, right, so now give the attention. Right. Okay. Now give the attention. Next. Now just assume that when we like you are working as a lead, right? You are a manager of one of the well-established organizations. Now, like you are performing, you are all as a leader, senior level manager, right? Then you need to make your subordinates, right? You need to convert or you need to transform or you basically you need to make your subordinates to make initiatives for them, right? So you all need to improve their abilities or their capabilities related to being proactive and taking initiatives, right? What do you think, Uday? If you want to improve being proactive or the proactive mindset of your subordinate, plus not only improving the proactive mindset, that's another aspect that you need to make them to take initiatives. ඒගොල්ලොම initiatives ගන්න තැනට ඔයාලට ඒගොල්ලොම convert කරන්න. You need to convert them. Right? Then what do you think? What kind of factors can be like helpful in this process? Converting your subordinates to take their own initiatives. ඔයා එතන හිතේනවා what kind of strategies that you use to convert them to make or like basically convert them to make initiatives or take initiatives. If you are a manager, right? Now I have told you, just assume you are working for a well-established organization and all the resources are there. Well-established, all the required resources are there. You are also in a senior level position. So then if you want to convert your subordinates to the people or individuals who are the ones who are in a position to take initiatives, right? So what kind of strategies that you are going to implement within your department? Only goals. What do you think? One very good characteristic is empowerment. Always we need like empower our subordinates. Rather like doing all the things from our end or without centralizing the power. Okay, if we can empower our subordinates also today, they feel that they also have a power to make decisions. Right? So then only they also then try to see, I'm an independent person because the leader is not close to monitoring, right? So the leader has empowered me, so I can take decisions. Empower courage, right? If the power is kind of a centralized power figure, then the subordinates reluctant to make decisions. Why I want centralized power because the authority funds, they do not have an authority to make decisions. But if the leader has empowered his or her subordinates, yes, they can take initiative because they know that I have a kind of authority or a power to make decisions. So take initiatives. At least 2 or 3 points would take practically. Say, automatically initiatives how we can convert without relying on the supervisors, advisors, or the supervision. Yes, I have received a kind of another similar answer with the rewards and motivation. That is also important. Like if we feel that, okay, so there are like capable individuals in our department who can make initiatives or take initiatives in order to motivate them to be reward them. Right? When we are rewarding, when we are motivating, when we are providing feedbacks or when we are recognizing their initiatives, automatically they become motivated and then next time also they are trying to take initiatives. Good. Yes. Rewards, motivational strategies, empowerment. Correct. Right? So here, carefully read this slide. Recognize and reward initiatives as you have explained. Right? Here you all cannot find empowerment, but from build trust or building trust, then provide support and resources, we can empower our subordinates. It's not directly mentioned in here, but it's another great point. Even like we can include in the slide also after the communicate the success stories. Right? So write down the subtopic with it. Write down how to improve subordinates, in taking initiatives. Then under that you can write down these 5 points. Under the communicate the success stories, you can write down empowerment also. Encourage open communication is really important for because as managers, as leaders, we need to like open doors for our subordinates to keep continuous communication. Right? So it's really important. Always we need to keep our doors open today. Then only they are coming and like sharing the things openly. Then only we can understand this person is a capable person. If we can support, if we can provide resources, definitely we will come up with initiatives. Right, okay, so with this, I will give maximum 10 minutes break, right? So, till it's 4:59, but I will consider it as 4:50, and I will give 10 minutes break. Please come to the class like I will calculate. Only can you drop a message to WhatsApp group? Would until others come in and start, right? Because we have to do like it was the small activities. So now this is the okay. So we are discussing how to put it. Right, okay. Now let's so in the previous slide here, how to improve subordinating taking initiatives with it, we have discussed that always as leaders we need to recognize our subordinates in the sense that when they are performing well, we need to recognize that performance. We need to appreciate, right? Plus we need to reward, right? When we are in the process of recognizing the performances, rewarding in terms of the performance with it, as leaders, you all need to do one thing. That is, we need to always show our subordinates that we are aware. Okay, be aware about their performances, their commitment, and their effort. You all are aware, right? You know what they do, how they are like extending their effort towards the job, right? So always you need to show that. The thing is, you always like argue why we need to show that like we are aware on their performances and like sometimes you always argue. The thing is, when we make them know that be aware about their performances, what will happen is then they know that they will receive the rewards also based on their performance, right? In that case, would they always keep this quality or characteristic in yourself when you are like directing your subordinates, and if you want to improve your subordinates taking initiatives, always show them that you know their effort, their commitment, and how they are working, how they are like performing. Right? That is really important for them here. In this slide, it's separately explaining. Carefully read this slide first. The best leaders are aware of everyone's contribution, commitment, and make sure that people know that they are aware. Right? Being observant. Definitely, if we are not observing, we cannot capture the commitment. Definitely, we need to being observant. Read other 2 points also. All these things also will help leaders to improve their subordinates in taking initiatives. Except the points that we have discussed, previous slide put there, those are direct points, right? These explanations also you all can use if you want to justify or if you want to further explain how to improve subordinates taking initiatives today. So if we consider, then you all will confuse where you can add this explanation. When you are explaining, recognize and reward initiatives today, you can further explain that answer with this slide. Right? You all can mention. So if a leader wants to improve the subordinates in taking initiatives, so they need to show their subordinates that they are aware about their subordinates' commitment. Right? What will happen is when we show that we know their commitment, effort, so they will get motivated. Because they will done the Galle now observe correctly immediately. Right? Mama admin perform karo. Onward mama ek kumbala penwa kela I won't receive reward kela. Then they can realize. Right? Then that is the basic idea that you can take from this slide. It's like further explaining, acknowledging and thanking them for what followers do, recognizing. Like here point again, recognizing part again. Then equally, if someone has not performed to the expected standard when they are capable of doing so, then leaders should not ignore that either. Because if we are ignoring that today, then never we cannot expect those people will take initiatives. Recognize that if we are not going to advise them, in future we cannot expect from them they will take initiatives. Right? Because the thing is, they are capable, it's really disadvantage for the organization because we know they are capable, but they are not taking initiatives. Right? They are capable. So in that case, we want to understand their capability and their ability, and we need to motivate them to take initiatives. Then matching the task, leaders ask people to do their abilities and personalities while also stretching people by taking them out of their comfort zone. That is also there. But the thing is, most of the people are very reluctant to take initiatives because they don't like to move from their comfort zone. Because from the initiative, if they want to do more tasks, they have to go beyond that comfortable zone. They comfort zone in again done. So they will come there the initiative is done. That happens for them, right? So if we as leaders, if we realize that kind of attitude, then we need to convert that attitude into a positive attitude today. Right? Apply to yourself also with it. As human beings, if there's something that we want to do newly, or if we want to take initiatives, and with that initiative, we have to do more tasks, right? That means that we have to take a lot of responsibilities, additional responsibilities. Then the thing is, Today, already clear the sunny lecture, okay? Turn together, na? No name today. Then I will give the chance to put the signature. You all can sit for the lecture. Okay, but I'm going to move again from the right? So in that case, you can wait for the lecture, but that's totally okay. But you can understand, I cannot allow you to put the signature, right? Okay. So yes. Then I was explaining about this comfort zone. That is there because when we feel that our workload is getting more and more, we reluctant to move from that particular comfort zone today. Then that particular attitude will limit us to take the initiatives. And if comfort zone we are going to limit within our comfort zone today, we cannot become great leaders. Always we need to take risk. We need to move from the beyond the comfort zone. That should be there, right? Write down this sentence with that. No need to write down all these points. Write down this sentence. So, if a leader wants to improve their subordinates, leader his or her subordinate subordinates in taking initiatives put a comma, they have to show that they are aware of all the subordinates' contribution by being an observant leader. By being an observant leader. Write down through above mentioned point, through above mentioned point, comma, subordinates will get motivated to take initiatives because they know that their hard works will be recognized by the leaders. As the second point, write down Pute. Always leaders need to encourage their subordinates to go beyond their comfort zones. Go beyond their comfort zones. Go beyond their comfort zones and take initiatives for the anticipated occurrences. So before moving on to the activity, this is the last slide that we are going to discuss. Here, Pute, the thing is, if we want to improve our subordinates, if we want to improve our subordinates to take initiatives, we need to improve their competences. Right? Yes, we may maintain open communication policies, we may empower our subordinates, okay, we may recognize their performance, that's true. All those things will help the leaders to improve their subordinates to take initiatives. But the thing is, if they are not capable enough to take initiatives, still they won't move with initiatives. Right? From other hand, we need to improve their capabilities also, or the competences. Then we need to think how we can improve their competences. If we consider this term competences, it's kind of a combined. How can I say? It's like if we consider competences, it consists three things, right? One is knowledge, other thing is skills, and other thing is experience, right? Combination of all these things will deliver high level of competence, right? Again, I'm telling competence of an individual consists three things. One is knowledge, other thing is skills, and the last one is experience. Then, if we want to improve our subordinates take initiatives, definitely put it. So it's a very basic thing that one can understand. We need to improve their competences. How we can improve their competences? We need to improve their knowledge and skills. In order to improve the knowledge and skills, as leaders, you all can organize training and differential programs. Right? If you feel that there's a knowledge gap, skill gap, definitely you all need to target those gaps and you need to arrange, organize training and development programs. Then other thing is experiences. In order to obtain more experiences, we need to give them more opportunities. Right? Don't limit your subordinate to one task. always give more opportunities, right? Always open the door for opportunities. Then only they can go for more experiences. Then only they can gain more experiences. Open to none. If we now you are in the part of becoming the leader, but they always seek for opportunities, right? Just go and meet your supervisors and ask for more opportunities. From that only, you all can have more experiences. The experiences will drive you to improve your competences. Right? That is important. And if I can always not into the comfort zone today, always take a step beyond the comfort zone and gain more experiences. Right? Then only automatically you will become more like, then only you can take initiatives. The experience and you do not have the sufficient skill and the knowledge, even though all other atmosphere is favorable towards making initiatives, still you don't make or take initiatives. Because you feel that you are not competent enough to take initiatives. Company is supported people, leaders are supported people that you are not competent. Right? That is also important to be notified. So in that case, we will like find up the notes from this point, then we will move on to the activity. Write down the sentence with it. In order to improve subordinates, in taking initiatives as leaders, they have to take necessary actions to enhance the competence levels of their subordinates. Enhance the competence levels of their subordinates. Competence consists knowledge, consists with knowledge, skills, and experiences. Then the next line write down. As managers, as leaders or managers, as what sign, right? No? There's the sign between them. There's the sign As managers or leaders, it is required to. As managers or leaders, it is required to organize training and development programs in the development progress to bridge the bridge can I get something bridge the knowledge and skills gaps knowledge and skills gap and give more exposure in relation to new tasks. Right, okay. So that's it. Let me take you all to the activity. This is an individual activity for them. So this is I want allocated marks, but please attend to this activity. So here what it says is, assume you have to perform a new task. Listen carefully. Right? Assume you have to perform a new task. Within brackets, I have mentioned what is the new task. The new task is organize a sales conference to introduce a new product. Right? If we consider your context, you all are more into accounting and finance areas. Yes, that is true, but still they have given you the opportunity to organize this event, right? Without having any guidance. You have to organize this, right? They know you are into finance, the accounting sector. They clearly know, but still they are giving the opportunity or this challenge, right? The thing is, without having any guidance also. You can't seek any guidance or direction from anyone in the organization. Explain how you take the initiatives to perform that new task. Now you have to consider you are going to actually face this incident or face this situation. And how you are going to take initiatives to do this task. Write down at least 5 points for how we are going to take initiatives to go ahead with this task. Start initiatives are because this is kind of a really new thing to you. New thing to you. How we are going to start this process? How we are going to take initiatives? That can be future problems. Right? How you are going to anticipate them? You need to think all the things that we have discussed so far when you are providing the answer to this question. Perfect and on their answer, just try with you. Yes, they have organized So it may have been that in that another assumption would be assume this is kind of a totally new thing to the organization. Also, previously they have not conducted this kind of a sales functions. Totally new. So they have appointed you as the leader to lead this sales conference. Decided 5 points. Which would be those points are related to the initiatives. You need to start this process. You need to start with basic activities related to this process.
Excuse me, Miss. Are they given any subordinates under us in this scenario?
I think you by 5:45 you need to conclude the answer because I'm not expecting very technical answers to get. You can get us like practically we can write down.
Okay.
In terms of by considering them. And they'll come to work. I will say, specifically. And when I think I think. You have only average 8 to 7 minutes. Always practice to write answers with the deadline. Your comes explanation also you feel like don't feel that you are in a position to answer the question. Always something that gets practice with it. That is one piece. See that Putty, who is Jayshan Jayakumar? You put it. That is the part of like the content what will be the content. Where is the part of the content? I'm very happy. Yeah, when it comes to that, it's kind of the first point is we cannot proceed service accident as something can be all by example. Have an idea. So I will mention. Right, so now, with the check all next week, I will check and then I will start the what you call the session, right? I will allocate 10 to 5 minutes local command and after it, we are going to first exam and answers here. So then we can start chapter like main part of this chapter and the chapter 8, right? So with this, then I will conclude the session for today. And yes, we see all on this Saturday. Thank you very much for there. Thank you very much. For the online students, can you all hear me? Just tell me whether you all have attended on this activity.
Yes, madam.
Let me check. Can anyone give me a feedback? Did you all attempt on this activity? It's not that much clear with me because the students who have attended physically, they are leaving now. So in that case, it's not that much clear to me when you are like sharing ideas with me. Just listen carefully what I am telling. If you all have attempted on this activity, what you can do is just email your answers to my email. Then from my end, I will go through your answers and provide the feedback as a reply to the email. Right? If you all have attempted again, as a summary, what you can do is if you all have attempted on this activity, just send it via an email. Okay, you all can find my email from the LMS. Once I receive your email today, I will go through your answer and I will provide in detail feedback via the email as a reply to your email. Okay, I guess then that will be fine.
Okay, ma'am. Sure.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
So yes, Pute, do you all need to clarify anything regarding the content that we have discussed so far?
No, so far clear for us. For me, I do.
Yes, Farhan Pute, yes.
Yeah, it's so far clear, ma'am.
All right, okay. So then, if it is clear, then no problem. Then see you all next Saturday at 3 p.m. Thank you, Pute. Stay safe.
Thank you, Miss Stacy. Thank you.
Another small thing, Pute, like time to time, I'm giving some notes, right? Since you all are not in the physical classroom, sometimes you all may miss some notes because sometimes I'm giving some points when I'm working also, Pute. When I was working, I'm sharing some points also with them. In that case, what you can do is you all have friends in the class from your intake, right? So then see the photos of those notes. Then you all can have complete notes, right? Ask as a favor, ask them to share the pictures of their notes. Then you all can complete your notes, Pute.
Sure, ma'am. We will ask from them. Yeah.
Yes. So meantime also, if you need to have a support from my end, just contact me. Then I will contact one of the students and ask them to share the photos with you all. Okay?
Thank you, Miss. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Then thank you very much. Stay safe. See you all next Saturday at 3 p.m. Thank you.